Welcome along to episode 816 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And coming up on the show this week, we'll be finding out about Art Expo in Wolverhampton, which is coming up this May. But if you wish to be part of it and exhibit, you need to get your applications in quickly. Consult Dramatic Society let us know about their production of Abigail's Party. We'll be hearing from the team behind the Mary Stevens Hospice Panto, which this year is the Little Mermaid. Simon Rimmer will be along. Of course, you know him from Sunday Brunch on Channel 4. We'll be finding out about Flexi-Feb, mixing up your food and having a great time with the help of Nomo chocolate. Plus, Fred Sirieix will be along as we hear how Nor can help you make Valentine's Day somewhat special this year by eating in at home. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, when it comes down to having a bit of a change in February, we might like to mix up what we're eating and eat a few things which aren't always other than plant-based. TV chef Simon Rimmer joins me now as a call to free ourselves from boring meals. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, very good. What a lovely intro that was. Yeah, it's very true. It's funny, isn't it? We did that whole thing where we do dry January. And I think it's that time of year when everyone starts to think about how they eat and what they eat. And I've been working with a lovely chocolate brand called Nomo. And we're launching something called Flexi-Feb, which basically is saying, look, you know what? You don't always have to have meat and two veg. You know, it can work in a different way. And the whole process, the whole Flexi-Feb is about little changes that don't suddenly make you feel like, oh, I'm not eating what I like to eat. Just swapping things out and still eating all of your favourite meals.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what Nomo are all about. I mean, the UK's number one vegan and free from chocolate brand. You know what you're getting. You also know what you're not getting. And you're getting the flavour. And this is about flavour. Having a month full of fantastic taste, but changing it up a bit and going plant-based every once in a while.
It is. And you know what? It's far easier to do than you think. You know, for example, we did a list of the 10 most popular dishes in the UK. Things like pizza, for example. So a very simple one to start with. Everybody loves pizza. So there are very good plant-based cheeses around now, but I don't actually think you even need pizza to have cheese on. So if you had a topping of pizza, you have your pizza sauce, red onions, capers, black olives, basil. You do not need anything else. So you're still getting you're getting really, really delicious flavour. You're still getting that great kind of pizza taste, but you're not then having loads of dairy onto it. And
that as well. That's very much a sports person's pizza. Because I know it's places like Molineux, the football players have pizza delivered, no cheese after a game, so they get the carbohydrate they want, but without the fat and cholesterol.
Yeah, well, clearly that happened on Saturday, didn't it, when they beat Villa? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, so there are very simple things you can do, like spaghetti bolognese, swap out your mince, use very finely chopped mushrooms, work brilliantly. And there are so many good ingredients on the market now that don't necessarily have to be things that are heavily processed. It's using, for me, I always want to use natural ingredients wherever possible, rather than saying, okay, I'll use fake meat or I'll use, and those things are fine, you know, the kind of the vegan mince, etc., etc. But good natural products work so easily.
Absolutely, and it's on the list as well. Crumble and sticky toffee pudding, two of my favourites, I will admit. And you wouldn't think of them being anything other than plant-based, apart from the fact there's obviously butter in or margarine, and there may be some hints of dairy in there. But it doesn't have to be that way, does it?
No, it's actually very, very simple. There's an awful lot of really good. When I started out, when I owned veggie restaurants for over 30 years, and I've always been sort of highly excited by vegetarian and vegan food. And it used to be that all of the butter substitutes, if you like, they were never particularly brilliant. There are so many on the market now that behave, I would say 90% of the time, like butter. So they're solid blocks. So in the way that you would use butter to make a crumble, so you're rubbing it in with flour and with sugar, then using the vegan alternatives works absolutely brilliantly now, and the results are quite astounding. And you would never know if I made you my plant-based crumble, Jason, you would not know that you were eating, if you like, a regular crumble.
Right, okay, we'll just have to sort some time out to get that one in, because I do like my crumble, as I say. And you could probably even knock up a nice plant-based custard in some way or form as well, or an appropriate sort of
easy. That one's dead easy. Coconut milk. I put a little bit of turmeric in so you get that lovely yellow colour, bit of sugar, a bit of vanilla, and you literally just kind of bring that slowly to a boil and and thicken it with corn flour, and you get a really delicious, delicious custard. And you can add other flavors into it. I mean, the Nomo chocolate melted into it, the creamy chocolate that Nomo do makes the most delicious chocolate custard. In fact, I made an amazing trifle for Nomo as part of the Flexi-Feb campaign.
That was one that surprised me because trifle it does it's got a set, so you've got some gelatin in there, which obviously can be plant based, but
Yeah.
it's the agar is sometimes used in the jelly.
And it's brilliant. You know, that agar is so, so good. It's set just as well as gelatin. The other thing I would say about it, that people sometimes the first time they use it, it doesn't always stay completely clear. So if you're making a regular jelly and you get, it's very, very clear using gelatin, sometimes you might get just a little bit of cloudiness from the agar. But flavor wise, it's absolutely delicious. It doesn't always happen, but it's just some people go, have I done something wrong? It's actually just the nature of the beast, but the flavour is delicious.
Well, see, I like to put in a lot of Swiss roll at the bottom of my trifle, so that will make it cloudy anyway. So I ain't going to notice. So this could easily be veganed up to make it just a bit more friendly. But the one that's obviously got to be done, it's Nomo we're talking. It is chocolate, so the chocolate fudge cake, and I mean that this has got to be an absolute gift, hasn't it?
Oh, completely. And it's funny that I have found that making plant-based cakes, I've got really excited by them because it used to be when I first started making them. I think when anybody starts making plant-based cakes, they sort of think this is a bit squidgy. It doesn't feel quite the same as a cake because you don't have the eggs in it and you don't have the dairy products. But when you actually taste them, you think, you know what, this is actually completely different, but the same, if you know what I mean. So you're getting all of the flavor and a slightly softer texture. And I've grown to really, really love it. And now you're making a gluten-free plant-based chocolate cake is really good fun now. It used to be historical when I used to make it, because say if I was making it for somebody with dietary requirements, I think, oh, I'm not sure if this works. But now things like the Nomo vegan chocolate is fantastic. Gluten flours are getting better and better and better. And so you can make incredibly exciting dishes. And as I say, the fact they're plant-based is almost incidental.
Well, my nephew's currently doing a cookery class at school as an after-school thing, and one of the lads is gluten intolerant, so everybody does gluten-free, and that way it's about normalising these things. The more we normalise it, the better the products get because everybody's buying them, and actually we may all be better off for it.
Well, yeah, and I think as well, I think if you sit with two vegan cakes, for example, next to each other, gluten-free cakes sit next to each other, then if the one that's gluten, the one that isn't, you will see that there's a difference. If you just accept the fact that, you know what, this is a delicious cake, the fact it's gluten-free is irrelevant. Is this a delicious cake? Yes. And I think, again, that's an awful lot of what the Flexi-Feb thing is about. It's not saying, how would this compare to what I would normally eat? Say, what I'm eating is delicious. And that's what it's about. At the end of the day, what we want when we eat is, am I satisfied? And is it tasty?
Yeah, there are often options, and you said don't necessarily swap the meat for a meat alternative. Swap it for something like entirely different, like the chicken curry, shredded oyster mushrooms. That actually that will give you a whole new texture, and it's a curry. So what you put in a curry, people have eaten egg curries over the years, and proteins come from all sorts of places. But maybe make it a bit different, flex it up, go for the shredded oyster mushrooms, and you won't really realise that it's anything other than a curry.
I think we should probably swap roles today, Jason. I think you're almost better informed than I am.
But there is some fun to be had out here, and so enjoying an alternative. In the case of Nome, I mean, this is something which has been on the shelves, and you can find it in your local supermarket. I loved at Christmas; they did some fantastic little Christmas characters as well. So you can now gift it, and I'm sure there's going to be a fantastic Easter range on top of all of that. And it just becomes normal. You can now share something and not have to worry about whether it's going to fit in with somebody else's dietary requirements. Just share the one thing, and it's all the same for everyone.
Exactly that. And I think as well, another thing that I think is good with the Flexi Feb is I think if you just spend a little bit of time going down that free from aisle in a supermarket, I think a lot of people will be surprised at the fantastic range of products that are there. And I think it's almost one of those that the supermarkets almost isolate it and make people think that's not for me. I think whether you have any dietary requirements or not, there's some very good products on the market in those free from aisles that are worth looking at. Things from ketchup to flowers to whatever. Things you think, okay, I might try that. Is it gonna change anything for me? Will I feel any better for it? It's just a nice little adventure.
Well, it sometimes comes out as a more natural approach. You said you want to eat natural products, and you look at something like a tomato ketchup that hasn't been hyped up to make
Yes.
it more cost effective and make it a pure product. You're likely to find something which is going to be enjoyable too.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Now you've got your recipe for your Nomo creamy choc and raspberry trifle online. I've got it in front of me. I'm not going to attempt to read the whole thing out now because we'll be here for another 20 minutes. But we can find all this on their website, I'm going to guess.
Yes, indeed. It's nomochoc.com for everything. All the guides for Flexi-Feb. My recipe's on there. Plus, of course, you can explore the delicious range of chocky as well.
Which I no doubt you've already done and are really enjoying.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, to the point where I cannot resist it. It's funny as well. Since I started working with Nomo, then my love of that chocolate has got greater and greater and greater. I just think it's superb stuff.
Well, I only do white chocolate due to getting a few headaches from the normal stuff. So I'm looking forward to something in their range that'll help me out there too, because
Brilliant.
it is always nice to have a change and something different, isn't it?
Brilliant. It is indeed. Yeah.
Well, have a fantastic time in Flexi-Feb. Enjoy all the different meals and sharing them. For now, TV chef Simon Rimmer, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jason. Good to speak to you, mate. Take care.
From the 9th through to the 12th of April, Codsall Dramatic Society are back in action and they're having a bit of a party. It belongs to Abigail and it's written by Mike Lee. 6 of their number are here to tell me more about the show. Hello, gang.
Hi.
Right, so let's go around the group and who's introducing whom?
Right, well, I'll start off. And I'm Wendy. I'm one of the directors. And sitting next to me is Lydia, who is playing Beverly, who is the lead character and was originally played by Alison Steadman in the original BBC production.
Who's next?
I'm Colin. I'm the other director.
Good going, okay.
My left is Lydia, who's playing Beverly. But behind her is Nick, who is playing Angie, known as Ange. And standing next to Nick is Stephen, who is playing Tony, otherwise known as Tone. Very few words, the Tone.
And
Yes.
completing.
Yeah. All right.
And behind me we have Bridget, who is our current chair, but she's also playing Susan. Susan, whose daughter Abigail is having a party up the road.
Okay.
And Susan has come to escape.
So we've kind of set the scene. We've met the cast of 4. Is there anybody else involved in this, or have they got to carry the whole play?
Yes, there is one more character, Lawrence, who is Beverly's husband. But I think she scared him off tonight, so he hasn't come.
So tell us a bit about how you came to this one, because when something's been a TV show, obviously people have got a fondness for it. I mean, it may or may not even be on iPlayer, I'm not sure, but it's one of those stories that it struck a chord, didn't it?
It certainly did. We were just discussing what we might do next, and somebody mentioned it, and a lot of members said, "Oh, that would be a good one. Oh, we'd really like to do that one." So we had a read of it, and the members decided that yes, it was certainly one that they'd like to take part in. So that's how we came about doing it. We've had auditions. We're halfway through. Well, perhaps not halfway through. A quarter of the way through rehearsals at the moment, and we've got a superb cast here. We could have cast it twice from the members that auditioned. It was a difficult choice, but this is the cast, and they're all working really hard together.
Okay, well, Bridget, I know you're back on stage because you were doing lighting and the likes at Christmas, weren't you?
Yes, I was, yeah. But I'm really excited. I've obviously had some time off due to health issues, but I'm really excited to be back on the stage and working with a brand new cast who I've never worked with any of them before, apart from you once in the children's play. But yeah, it's really lovely to have a cast where we haven't worked closely together, but we're bonding really well, so it's really good.
Well, it's always a good company, and it's always a fantastic production, and this is part of the challenge. So, getting sets together for this one, what sort of settings are we in?
Right, we're in a lounge, so it's Beverly and Lawrence's. How can I put this? 1970s executive house.
So with lots of avocado, quite a bit of orange. Is that where we're going?
You got it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be your standard 4-bed detached on a fairly nice estate.
So home from home for you two, then. The directors. It's just like being back in the.
It's all very much about sort of people who aspire to be middle class and trying to sort of outdo the neighbours. And there's a lot of comedy in it, but a lot of poignancy as well. Yeah. It is subtle. It's not laugh out loud, but it's sort of wry smiles, especially from people of the older generation that will remember this first time around.
You're looking back, and that's, for many, it'll be like their grandparents' time in their youth when they were growing up and starting a family. So that will be, interesting to take. And the part of Beverley is quite a big one, big shoes to fill. How are you looking forward to this?
It is a really big part. Yeah, I don't think I estimated how big the part was when I took it on. But obviously, watching Alison Steadman, she is a fantastic actress. So trying to aspire to be like her is one of my goals, really. It's a fantastic part. She's so patronising. She's trying to get one-upmanship on a lot of people, but then obviously we've got the likes of Bridget, who's very upper class anyway. So it's a fantastic part to play, and I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into it. Yes.
And Bridget's just typecast again. So. Okay, and come on, the rest of the gang. If you get to say any words at all, you must be practicing your accents too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the Essex accent is tricky to sustain throughout, so we're working hard on that. Definitely.
And just grunts, don't you?
Yeah. So you're okay with the grunting then, yeah?
Tony Stephen here playing Tony has very little to say, really, just a few.
Well, we're emulating that tonight because we're not giving him a chance to get a word in. So that I think we're preparing him well for this, aren't we?
He's a man of very few words anyway.
Angela wouldn't let him get a word in anyway.
No.
Could I?
Only I could speak. It's acting this evening.
It's working. I'm looking the part. We're loving it. It's absolutely fantastic.
It has to be said that Tony there and Beverley, they're first-time actors with us, so this is their first show with CDS. So it's nice to have brand new people joining the society and coming on stage and working with us.
But Beverley is not new, or Lydia rather, is not new to acting. She comes with a musical theatre background, having played many parts in the past.
Because it's always an amazing show. It's going to be awesome. Right, Colin, then you just volunteered. Do the ticket details.
Okay, ticket details. Well, this year we're having a bit of a change, so it's not just reserving tickets. If you want 8 or more tickets, go onto our website, which is www.culturaldramatic.society.co.uk, and you can reserve 8 or more tickets. If you wish to purchase tickets up to 7, then you can go again to our website, which is www.what I said before, and you can go to the page there, which takes you up to the ticketing agency, Ticket Source, where you can purchase your tickets for the production. So either you can reserve the tickets and pay on the door. If it's 8 large parties, that helps us deal with people with large parties. Or if it's not a large party, then you can buy them from Ticket Source through the website. In addition, there is, of course, our ticket hotline, which is 01902 267 322, where you can leave messages, talk to us, ask for tickets, and we'll always get back to you and tell you what to do, what you need to do, and sort you out. Okay. So do you want to phone them again?
No, I was going to say, it's 01902 267 322, isn't it?
Yes, we've learnt that one now between us, I think.
I think we've got that in our heads. Consuldramacsociety.co.uk is the website. You can get along there. All taking place, Consul Village Hall, the 9th through to the 11th at 7:30, and then on the 12th at 2:30, the matinee on the Saturday. So that's good to get along to. It is Abigail's party from the amazing team at Consul Dramatic Society. It will be amazing. You need to get along and see. If you haven't been to see them before, make this the first time you get down there, and you'll be back. I tell you, it is absolutely guaranteed. Brilliant bunch, lovely people, and amazing shows they perform. Thank you all for joining us, Break a Leg, and we look forward to seeing you on stage having a bit of a bash.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Bye.
Following on from the success of Printfest Wolverhampton, Art Expo Wolverhampton is on the way this May. Jacy Fellows is here to tell me more. Hello.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm good. You all right then?
I'm okay, busy, but we're okay, which is all good.
Yeah, I understand. I say you're here. I've come to see to you again. We're here in the Northampton Arts Centre in 109, the amazing art workshop where you do loads of stuff.
Yeah, I've done loads of printmaking workshops over the last 6 weeks, so it's all good. If I could spend every second of every minute of every day in this studio,
it still wouldn't be enough, would it?
No.
Okay, so let's first of all look back. November.
Yes.
The Printfest.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton's first Printfest.
We took a leap of faith, and we wanted to kind of promote the arts and printmaking specifically. I was inspired when I went up to Ulverston, the other side of the lakes. They have amazing annual print festival, and I just thought, well, if they can do it, why can't we? So I had a word with a couple of the girls, and they said, yep, let's go for it. And and we put it on in November, but it was amazing, far exceeded our expectations. So we had people from all over the country, we had somebody from Leeds, somebody from Lichfield, we had somebody from Mid Wales, and then a lot of local artists as well. And there was a match on the Saturday when we put it on, and we just thought, people could be funny about the parking and football crowds and things like that. So we expected to have a lull, but we must have had about, I think we reckoned up to about 1,000 people.
Which is good going for an inaugural event as well, isn't it? I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and the atmosphere was amazing, and the sales were good, people were selling, so it was really good, and of course it's inspired us to do. So Printfest will be an annual event. So I'll have you back in November.
We shall talk then, yeah.
Yeah. So we just thought, right, okay, so what else can we do? Because you've seen the hall, it's amazing, our gallery hall space, and so we decided to go with just a general visual arts, and there's a couple of things that are called. We wanted to call it Art Fest Wolverhampton, but there's a couple of other things that
similar at least, yeah.
Yeah, so we've called it Art Expo Wolverhampton, but basically it's exactly the same format of Printfest. You can either have a stand, and the stand for the whole weekend is just £50. There's no commission on any sales, or if you've not got a big body of work, then you can just enter our exhibition, which is you can enter 1 or 2 pieces, and it's just a £10 hanging fee depending on the size. Okay,
well, I mean, this itself, I mean, it's the 16th, 17th and 18th of May.
Yes.
The main event, so it starts really on the 16th. 17th and 18th is the weekend, isn't it? And that's when the bulk of the sales and the general public are going to be along. And it's a chance to show off anything. So any visual arts, any medium, printing, always welcome. Yeah. But I mean, whether you're working in gouache or whether you're maybe even potentially a potter, is that possibly allowed?
So we've already got some 3D work. So we've got a ceramicist and.
I said potter, you say ceramicist.
No, that's all right. Yeah. So that's the difference between going to Wolverhampton Uni. That is. I mean, I'd have called him a potter any day, but So you could, so any 3D medium. So not any visual arts medium. So it can be anything from acrylics to oil painting to watercolours to collage, whatever And if you've got a body of work, then please do, because the open call is now. So, and it's up until the 28th. So we've got 18 stands sold out for the Printfest, and we expect to sell out for Art Expo.
And then it is about coming along and seeing what's here, and really just enjoying the artistry that is around our city and beyond. I mean, people will be coming in to be part of this, as you already said. I mean, there'll be people from all around the country again, no doubt, and there'll be people visiting from around the country to actually come and see and buy. And I think that's another important part of it. And having it all in one place, it's not one of your standard Christmas fairs or that sort of thing. This is about art, because art is every day of the year, isn't it? Not just for Christmas.
Well, every single stand is an exhibition, so it's not. I mean, I love craft fairs, but this is something slightly more. It's slightly bigger, so you'll have the artists there, and they'll have all their work on sale and on view, and it's also about other artists making connections with other artists. I mean, for Printfest, the one thing that we found remarkable was just how friendly and engaging, and people were making connections and, you know, and kind of then go on to work with each other, which is great. But for me, and not to get political or anything like that, but I don't know, I mean, it's been in the Express and Star, it's well known now that the Wolverhampton Art Building, the University Arts Building, the School of Art, they're bulldozing the building. So we've already lost performing arts from Wolverhampton. That went a couple of years ago. Then last year we lost the applied arts. That's all your 3D ceramics, glass, and you just, and also I mean, I think art in general is kind of being left behind a little bit.
It's almost as if it is way too much seen as a luxury, and art isn't a luxury. It's part of what shows us who we are. It helps us to express ourselves and helps to relieve stress as well. Mental health and art, they go hand in hand.
We did a workshop in the school yesterday, and the teacher said it was a beautiful workshop, lovely kids, great school for kids with special educational needs and disabilities. And the one teacher said, she said, we've got one lad who's got such low self-esteem. She said, I guarantee he won't engage in. She said, but don't worry. She said, he'll mingle around. She said, probably in and out the corridor. She said, but he won't engage in the workshop. And me and Lindsay ran like a block printing workshop. And he did, and he produced work, and they were amazed as much as, I mean, we've got no preconceived ideas, so we just set the work out. If they want to engage, they want to engage. If they don't, then we don't put any pressure on them. But even for me, that's why I said I want to spend every second of every minute of every day, because I know that this is the most amazing, sacred space. When you're working in art, everything else just goes out the window. You don't think about anything else. It's just so therapeutic, and you know, it gives you confidence as well, you know, with the stuff that you produce, and you surprise yourself. So this is why I just don't get the fact that it is classed as a luxury, whereas I don't think it is. I think it's essential to people's everyday, you know, at least. You know,
well, we're surrounded by art, from packaging through to everything we pick up. You pick up your bus ticket, it's art, and it's maybe not necessarily something you're going to stand back and think, well, yeah, that's worth 50 quid. It's worth whatever the bus ticket is worth to you, and that's it. But actually, without art, we don't have a visually expressive world around us.
No. Well, every time you look at the telly, every time you watch a programme, it's all somebody's craft. You know, whether it's performing arts, visual arts, whether it's, you know, it can be anything. It doesn't matter, as long as you engage in arts at some point. You'll feel the difference, and I think it's just a mad world at the moment where it's all about work, it's all about the global economy, and I think you just have to stop and think about. I mean, I'll go into nature and I'll sketch and that kind of thing, and you know, you got a double whammy there. It's great being in nature and sketching, and by the end of the day I just think, I don't want to go home. No,
I would say art is something that many people do because they enjoy it as a hobby, but it is something which is so important, an important line of work across the board, and I think that needs to be recognised. Art Expo will help to do that in Wolverhampton, 16th through to the 18th of May 2025. Okay, you're going to tell us now how we get involved. If people want to exhibit, what do they do?
So they just get in touch with us at it is you can just email us at Printfest Wolverhampton. Don't get confused, it's not just a Printfest, but it is printfestwolverhampton@yahoo.com.
So printfestwolverhampton@yahoo.com, that is where you're going to. That's the email address you're going to use. You're going to get involved. It is Art Expo Wolverhampton. It's the first time out for this one. It is the 16th through to the 18th of May. It's going to be an absolutely awesome event. You can have nice weather for it as well. And it's guaranteed. The sun's got to shine on artwork, and you can enjoy seeing the craft that is brought to life in our city and beyond. And have you got an amount of work that you're working towards for this now?
Yeah, so I do Leamington Art in the Park, and I do various things, and I run various workshops, and kind of, it's brilliant because that inspires me to do my own work as well. So I have to produce work for Leamington, and it's no chore, Jason. I absolutely love it. But just one last thing, I think everybody's got that imposter syndrome voice in the back of your head. You need to shut it off and just play. That's all you need to do. Just play with the materials, produce the work. I mean, we've got some fabulous artists in Wolverhampton anyway, but just play and see what you can do and come and be inspired by other people. You know, get involved in workshops, go and look at galleries or go and look at what other people are doing and you know, and I mean, I've been doing this now for 7 years, and I did a fairy art workshop about 10 years ago, 12 years ago now. For my 50th, I thought, right, I'll do a little workshop, a little art workshop. And before I knew it, I was doing a foundation at Sirieix College, and then after I did that, I went to uni, and now I've got this absolutely fabulous, studio. And on top of that, I've met some fabulous people, and I do work in schools, and I do work with other people, and I'm putting on the Art Expo, and also, and not just me, the other girls as well, and I'm also putting on Print Fest again this year, and from, you know, just from that little seed in the back of your mind, and you think, right, don't think about, I'm no good at art. If anybody can do art, you just need to know the techniques, that's all you need, and then before you know where you are, it grows so much.
Yeah, and whether it's something for you or something to sell, to turn your work into cash, it is the way it works. Give us that email address again where people get in touch.
So it is printfestwolverhampton@yahoo.com.
Okay,
hang on,
there's more.
Am I right, Lindsay?
Thank you, Lindsay. So
Lindsay.
that is right. So there we go.
Yeah. Or you can get in touch with me at Jacy with a Y, JACKY.fellows, FELLOWS @gmail.com.
So all of that incredibly confusing. Find her in that way.
Sorry.
You can find her on Facebook as well. Just look for that.
Sorry.
Or both Art Expo and I think Print Fest are on Facebook as well.
Yeah, they're all on. I mean, we would have had a different email address, but we
can't be bothered, can you? You're too busy doing art to go there and setting up email addresses.
No, it's my age, Jason. I just forget. I can't even remember anything. So yeah.
But you can remember printfestwolverhampton@yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Yeah,
and
that does the job.
Please do get involved. Just come and see us.
Yeah.
Come and see me in the studio. I'm always happy to accommodate anybody. We love visitors.
Yeah.
We love showing people around the studio, and it's a little bit tidier than it is today. And it's just
working at the moment, isn't it?
Well, we're working at the moment. I'm running a workshop at the moment, printmaking workshop. So if you think you'd like to have a go, then have a go.
Do that. Okay,
Yeah.
So Art Expo Wolverhampton is the 16th through to the 18th of May. Make sure you come along, either whether you're exhibiting, get in touch now. We've done the email address about 19 times, so that'll be good. Or you can just come along and enjoy the event itself at the New Hampton Arts Centre in the heart of Wolverhampton. Jacy, always good to speak to you. Thank you.
Bless you, Jason.
Thank you for letting me in. And one of these days, you'll actually make me a cup of tea when we turn up. No, I'm fine. I'll be out.
Yeah.
No, you don't put yourself out. You've got printmaking to do.
No, it's all right.
No, you just get on with your work, and I will see you soon.
I was hoping to have a rest. I'm knackered.
Panto is once again returning to help out the Mary Stevens Hospice. This year is the Little Mermaid, and Will Phipps and his gang are here to tell us what's happening. Will, how you doing?
Good evening. I'm okay, Jason. Thank you. Are you?
I'm all right, Tar. So, I mean, you're the ringleader in all of this madness. So, tell us who you've got.
Right. So, to my left is Mr. Wally Wombat.
Everybody's favourite.
To my right, we've got Ella Fisher.
Hello.
And on the end, we've got Martin Foley. And then, of course, down below is Mr. Ricky Groves.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
So, explain who's doing what then, because Little Mermaid, I take it you're the aerial role.
Yes, that's me.
No, I bet Will.
You're talking to me.
No.
So what's it like being aerial?
Oh, it's a bit of like a dream. Like I used to watch Ariel growing up on like the Disney films and everything, and then putting on that red wig, I'm like, oh gosh, it feels really real. Absolutely.
Has Wally Wombat borrowed the wig yet? Because I can imagine he's going to.
What's going on with his feet?
What's he doing?
Oh.
He's causing trouble again.
Playing up.
You can't take him anywhere, can you? So we've sorted out our aerial. Will, who are you?
So I'm playing the role of Silly Seb, and this is my mother, Dame Purcell.
Hello.
She's a lady, I promise.
Next up.
And then we've got, of course, the gorgeous Martin Foley, who's playing Prince Finn.
Prince Finn. Okay, that's all good. What does Prince Finn bring to the story? How is he involved?
Well, thank you very much. He's very dramatic. He's very obsessed with Ariel, and he's relentless in his pursuit of finding his love.
That's always a magical moment. We need a bit of love in our pantos, don't we?
Jason, can you understand him all right? Because he's posh.
Well, it's all right. I'm not quite as common as you, so it's okay.
No, that's all right. As long as you can understand him, he's from Bedworth.
That is posh, isn't it? That's really posh.
Very posh.
It's got a CV postcode and everything.
Yeah. Got to see.
Ricky.
Yes.
Ricky in the kitchen. So, what is it you're up to? Not at the moment. Not doing dinner. What have you actually got in the show?
I'm doing the role of King Triton, who is Ariel's father, the wise old King Triton. And so, I'm looking forward to it immensely. And great bunch of guys. I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I've got other things I've got to do. I've got other fish to fry, but that's the wrong word to use, really, isn't it? So looking forward to it.
That's going to be good. And do you get a red wig as well?
No, I'm going all green. I mean, I'm started off to go slightly green. I'm going to do my nails, and I'm going to have a little green beard and green hair, and not be slimy in any way, but just be a little bit under the sea. And it's those moments that you embrace when you do Panto, because it's a fantasy world for the children and adults alike. And to put as much effort as you can into creating characters that are believable.
Absolutely, and I think this is the point where you've got to bring in the character and find out what he's up to, with being Will's mother in this. Wally, I mean, you are, again, a family favourite. I mean, we've got our stars, and they're going to be loved and enjoyed, but we've got you, who's a star in his own right.
Well, thank you. I only come out at night. Is that what you mean?
Oh, yeah, and you're quite possibly not visible when it's cloudy either, but there we are.
Which is probably the best option, really.
But I mean, what have you got in store for us comedy-wise? Because you and your sidekick there.
Who knows? We have got a script.
We ain't started yet.
Sort of, but that script sort of goes out of the window when we walk on stage, and who knows what will happen. It's going to be lots of fun and laughter. That's all I can say.
That's the guarantee. And who else is involved this year? How many more in this amazing cast?
Lots.
Now we've got the amazing Amy Lou from Tipton, from Britain's Got Talent, finalist 2023. She's returning as playing the Ursula, the baddie,
and she's got a voice and a half on her.
Yeah, any more?
She's very good. And we've got lots of other supporting cast. We've got Karen Bailey, a very well-known comedian, especially in the Comedy Store in London and Birmingham. And there's lots of people. We've got some little kids playing the roles of Ariel's two best friends. There's lots of puppets, amazing costumes,
special effects galore.
Got Jess, Georgia, and Alison as well.
Yes, and they are very integral to the part, Ricky, because they are playing your other daughters, but they are the mermaids.
So lots of people.
That's going to be absolutely amazing. It's phenomenal. It is an amazing panto. So, I mean, Ricky, what's it like working with this lot? Because you're used to, treading the boards in your own way. Are they a good bunch to work with?
Very much so, and it's been a fantastic experience. I'm only sorry that I couldn't be there more often for the rehearsals. But we've done our bit, we've planted it, and we go into like the dress stage within the next sort of 3 days. And then I think with Monday, we do the dress rehearsal. We've got a tech rehearsals as well. And so, absolutely fantastic bunch. It's the first time I've ever met a bunch of guys where they all have a lovely raffle. They have a raffle, which I think I'm going to introduce. And it's absolutely wonderful. I won a bottle of gin, which is fantastic. But some of the prizes, you can obviously see there's a little bit of regifted. There's a little bit of regifted scented candle from Christmas from someone. And I also won a security light. Obviously, someone didn't want it. So they went, put it in a raffle. And it all raises money at the end of the day for the wonderful cause while we're all here.
Well, you've made a good amount of money over the years, and hopefully it's going to be another bumper year of cash for such a good cause.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So, obviously the Mary Stevens Hospice put this pantomime on as a fundraising event to continue raising vital funds for our wonderful hospice here in Stourbridge. They have to raise 3.5 million a year just to keep the hospice going. Very little funding from the government. So, of course, it's all down to the nature of fundraising and making sure that people are behind fundraising events such as this one. And this one's quite a unique event because it's the only hospice in the UK that actually put on a pantomime of this sort of size, really.
And caliber, that's the important thing.
Absolutely. And I think that's evident in the fact that we've raised to date this is the 7th Panto we've done. From the 6 pantomimes we've done, we've raised just over £200,000. So it's a very large amount.
And I'm going to say more than double that in smiles and entertainment and fun for all the families that have come along to see you.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we never leave the theatre unhappy. The audience do, but
so some of them get a signed photo of Wally Wombat. I mean, that obviously makes a difference.
Yes, and of course, obviously, after each show, we always try to come out with a few of the cast to have some photo opportunities. I know Ricky's definitely up for doing that.
Yeah,
audiences and
whilst dressed as Triton.
Absolutely. Yes.
This could be drafty. We realise this, don't we? I think that
his costume is a bit drafty as well.
Oh, it is. It's very drafty.
I've seen the images of it, and I'm quite looking forward to it in some ways.
Oh, Nicky, I've tried it on. It's
just being in.
I mean, it's little things like that.
What do you mean, little things?
Little things. Well, let me finish my sentence.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant to me the costume.
No,
sorry.
Mommy, no. What do you mean, my mum? Stop it. Yeah. So, like, obviously, that costume, for example, has been a bespoke costume made all voluntarily from Dame Berta, who runs Foam Wigs UK, a big professional wig artist and costume. And he said to me on the phone, he said, "Look after it because that would have cost you about £3,500."
Wow.
And of course, he's gifted that to the hospice. We can keep it afterwards to rent out to other companies that want to do it. And obviously then that money goes into the hospice as well. So
I'm sure he hasn't, as long as Wally Wombat hasn't stretched out of shape, because he's made to Ricky's felt figure, then obviously there's a bit of concern there.
I've only stretched the belly part. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So it's all looking good. It's going to be an amazing panto, and it's anybody's guess as to how much you're going to make this year, but we know it's going to be a good figure, isn't it?
Yeah,
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Well, he's the posh one. He can do the math.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
we'll be all right. Yeah.
Okay, and who's going to do the phone number and the website? Who's got that gig?
Martin.
It's all there.
It's all there. So
Google.
You can get your tickets by calling the hospice on 01384 377 778. Or it's probably best now, because obviously the fundraising team are hectic at the moment. It's probably best to just book directly online at Dudley Borough Halls. You can book your tickets on there. I think adults are £20 and children's are £15. And obviously, again, I can't stress enough that all your money goes directly to the hospice.
Ricky, you're thinking about something.
I think it's boroughhalls.co.uk/MSH/the Little Mermaid.
I think he's got it on his fridge there at home, hasn't he?
But no, it'll be fantastic to see everyone. And like Will says and the guys say, we always come out and I will be coming out, and they always come out and meet the public. And the reason why we're all there, which brings us together, which is good family fun entertainment at half term. Don't forget it's Valentine's Day as well. So even if if you're stuck with a child, not stuck with a child, but if you want to take your wife out for Valentine's, bring the child along and see a magical adventure.
So give us the dates, Will, and once again, those phone numbers, etc., and we'll get Ricky to do the full web address because he enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, so the show opens on Wednesday the 12th to all our lovely schools. So we're doing 3 school shows. We open to the public on Thursday the 13th, and we run until Wednesday the 19th of February at the Sirieix Town Hall Theatre.
Limited tickets.
Saturday matinee is now sold out. All the school shows are sold out, and there's a few pickings for Saturday night, etc., and into half term. So if you're stuck for something to do for half term,
you will love it. It'll be amazing. Ricky, go and give us that full web address again, because we know it's written down on something.
Oh, it's not. It's off the top of my head. Ready? I just need to look down while I'm thinking. It's www.boroughhalls.co.uk/MSH/the Little Mermaid. You'll get it. You'll get it after you go www.boroughhalls.co.uk.
Yeah.
It'll come up.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Well, lovely seeing you all. Break a leg, a fin, no tails, and no none of those pointy stick things that you've probably got. Has any Neptune's got one? Have you got a pointy stick thing, Ricky?
I have indeed, and don't forget, right? Only dead fish go with the flow. So you come along and see us to the Little Mermaid at Stourbridge Town Hall.
That was amazing. Thank you all. Have a brilliant time.
Lovely. Lovely earmuffs, Jason. Lovely earmuffs. Thank you.
I'm not going to comment on that hat. I think it's a hat. See you soon.
Take care, Jason. Thank you.
Now, home is where the heart is, and the kitchen's in there too. Now, Brits are ditching cliches for home-cooked romance this Valentine's Day. Somebody who is used to seeing many a meal pass by in the First Dates restaurant is their maitre d'. Fred Sirieix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm very well, I hope we find you well.
Yeah, I'm very good, really excited. I've just teamed up with Noor to launch a new limited edition of Noor Place stock pots just in time for Valentine. And if you want, you can even get your own Noor plate delivered straight at home. All you need to do is register on the Noor website, and boom, we send it to you straight to your house. The KitchenAid, the Noor plate stock pots, and that's sure to just change your Valentine this year.
Well, that's funny, because if you are staying in and cooking a meal, it's not only more cost effective, which means you've got more cash to spend on maybe the flowers or a weekend away at some point, but celebrating Valentine's Day with a menu that you know you're going to love is the most important part, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And one thing, a lot of 50%, more than 50% of Brits are going to celebrate together. A large proportion of those are going to be together at home and cooking together. And it's so important because just done a survey that's just done by Noor, and people love to cook together because it's about teamwork, it's about sharing common interests, about conversation, but also very importantly, it's about being able to connect and to bond and to really keep your relationship alive, because you need to work at love. You need to work at relationship. It's not something that, let's say, you meet and you're together, you're married or not, and everything is going to be fine, and you don't need to do anything. It's a myth. People need to work at their relationship and to do fun things like that, and to create a little bit of anticipation and excitement because you're going to cook together on Valentine. It's the day of love. It's the day of couples, and of course, it's about a romantic evening. So that is very exciting, and I think this is all about the anticipation and it's about the thoughts that you put in your mind, and that's key, I think.
Yeah, because when I use my Noor stock pots, I'm normally doing either a beef or a chicken casserole, and so that's not exactly the food of love, is it? We want to go a bit more tantalising.
What do you mean it's not the food of love? I've done this beautiful chicken chasseur, the hunter's chicken. And it was so good. It's a nice stew. It's cold outside. It's raining. I'm just looking outside my kitchen window, and it's just hailstorm falling down, and it's absolutely freezing out there. So if you cook, right now, it's 14th of February. If you cook like a stew, like what you were saying, some beef or chicken stew, I think you're in for a good night. That's for sure.
So steak dinners say more romance for me, or a sharing plate too. They're also great things to enjoy together.
Well, in Britain, we like to, favorite food is steak, it's pasta, and it's also seafood, which is interesting because seafood are obviously known to be aphrodisiac, and people like to cook seafood, especially for a night like Valentine, because of the connotation.
Yeah, and those oysters may have the desired effect, and you could be having a night of romance after the romantic meal. So, it's all part of the fun of bringing these things together, but it doesn't have to just be the meat option, nor are there if you're plant-based too.
No, of course. Look, I love using stock pots, to cook. There is this new stock pot that just come out with Noor, which is the white wine and the red wine, and they're beautiful to add flavor and to just add loads of body to your dish and to round these umami flavors. And it's just so easy to use if you're making a soup, for example, or some simple pasta. All you need to just get that extra flavor and just stick that Noor stock pot, and it just changes completely your dish.
And the fact that you can keep the wine to go with the meal, yet still have the flavour in the meal, again, that makes all the difference too.
And that's right. And you got more wine in the bottle and more wine in your belly. That's good for you.
It sounds like a good deal to me. Now, when people want to avoid the expense as well, this is a great cost-effective way of doing it. And you can actually have at home a meal which is worth a hell of a lot more than you would be if you'd been out and bought it for more money.
Well, that's for sure. Of course, it's always cheaper to cook at home than to go to a restaurant. But, people decide, it depends whether they want to cook or they want to go out. A lot of people like to go out. A lot of people like to cook. But I think this is down to what happened in lockdown, because we were stuck at home and a lot of people discovered the pleasure of cooking. And I think this is where it comes from. But also there is a rebirth, renaissance of British gastronomy, which is produce-led. And people love good produce. And we are an island, we've got so much fish around us, beautiful larder, beautiful game, beautiful cows and lamb and chicken, and there is a rebirth there because it's being led by chefs, it's being led by producers. And I think it's making a big difference for us. And we see it in all these cooking programs, and people want to cook more as a result. And I think this is very positive.
Absolutely. So we can have a great time. We can enjoy it more. And of course, it's not just for Valentine's Day, although it will be the food of love on that night. You can also enjoy it year round. And again, it's maybe rising to a challenge of doing something special, or give us more ideas to enjoy in the kitchen as we head through the rest of 2025.
No, this is true. I think you don't want to do it just on Valentine's Day. This is something that you want to do regularly. I think that as a couple, to have a date night. I mean, I make a point to have a date night every week with my partner because, you're always busy, with work, the children, or whatever is taking you away from each other. So it's important to make a point and to make a date. And this is a meeting. This is where it's like a meeting, if you like. You have this meeting, but it's not a meeting. It's a date. It's a date night, and it's once a week. And it's your opportunity to really be together and just connect and reconnect. And if you don't do that, it's the danger that your relationship can just slowly phase out and you don't even realize. And so we have a responsibility to maintain that, but to improve it and to just nurture the love. That's so important.
Absolutely. And obviously nurturing love does help when people have your accent. So what other tips would you give us to bring love on the 14th of Feb?
Well, you don't have to speak like that to bring love on the first 14th of Feb. I think it's all about the intention. It's about the anticipation. If you are the one, let's say you're the one cooking at home, don't just cook at home. Make a night out of it. Create the ambiance. Create the right lighting. Have some flowers. Have some little candles, and start cooking before your partner comes home, so that when he or she comes home, they can smell the delicious smells that's coming out of the kitchen. And make sure that whatever you cook, then when they are here, is not going to take you too much time in the kitchen, so that you can actually focus on your partner and on your relationship and on the conversation and the connection. That's what's important at the end of the day. But when you have cooked, and it doesn't matter the level that you are in the kitchen, but when you have cooked a beautiful meal and you've taken steps, to take your time and just put the love in the dish, and you put it on the table there for you to eat, then wow, that's it. This is half the battle.
Absolutely. So where can we go to get more information on the survey and, of course, get some great recipes to use our North stock pots with?
You go to the North website, and don't forget to register for the North Play, because if you want your KitchenAid delivered to your door, this is what you have to do. You have until the 9th of Feb.
So get in there, get that sorted, and enjoy. Well, for now, Fred Sirieix, TV personality and maitre d', as well as an absolute romantic, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
That's your lot for this week. Back with episode 817 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.